Hi friends, my name is Host Eric, and I want to respond to this email by an ENTJ who I typed a few weeks ago. And he asks, false negatives. We can both agree that demonstrating proficiency with a function is a true indicator of it not being polar. By and large, yes. But, I mean, the thing is, not every function correlates strongly with a skill that can be tested in that fashion, right? So that's sort of presuming that all functions break down to skills. Yeah, I do lack good tests for NI. That's true. How can you determine that my display of weak SI is not a false negative without assuming good faith that I was not being intentionally deceptive? I mean, I can't say that the tests will work on people who are intentionally doing badly on them. So, now you're asking about a false negative. I mean, I would call that a false positive, right? That your display of weak SI is in fact testing you positive for SI polar, right? How do I know it's not a false positive? Well, if you are intentionally trying to do badly on it and display less competency than you actually have, I can't prevent that, right? It's like, well, how do you know an IQ test is not being gamed by somebody who's intentionally scoring low on it? Well, you can't prevent that. How do you know the SAT is not being gamed by people who intentionally score low? Well, you can't prevent that, right? Now, this is a different kind of thing than the IQ test or the SAT. And of the three, only this is something you can imagine somebody wanting to do poorly on some section of it in order to get the type they think they want to be named or something, although I can't imagine why. So let's see your revised SI response here. I have remained consistent with my sleep, workout, and diet routine. If you were to ask me again about my habits, I would answer much differently. Describe your SI habits. I wake up and go to bed at the same time each day, eat the same meal at the same time each day, and have rarely deviated. If you had provided this answer, would I still concluded SI polar? Yeah. Because I would have followed up with, okay, well, why do you get at the same time each day? Now, I typed an ISFJ just not very long ago, and she said she gets up a good hour and a half early because she needs her time to make her coffee and sit there and sip it quietly and have her quiet time getting ready for the day. This is an SI sort of answer that you would not give. That would not be your reasoning. If I tried to milk it out of you with leading questions, you still wouldn't provide that kind of a response. You could, in theory, game those kind of questions. In other words, you could, once again, you can learn how I type people well enough, and if you wanted to fool me, could intentionally do badly in certain ways on certain things that would fool me. And there's nothing I can do to avoid that. You know, it's like, to make a test that is fake bad proof is really difficult, right? Like, how do you test someone's strength? Can you guarantee they're not intentionally lifting less than they can? I don't know. So the thing is, what would not have changed, however, is your indifference to SI stories. But the other thing, and more telling thing, is the absence of SI stories that you provide when asked for examples, when asked for justifications. You'll give NI or maybe even TI or TE justifications, not SI justifications. What do SI justifications sound like? All right, well, why do you think me getting meow? Well, because this one time when I was at meow 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 meow, I experienced this meow 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 that suggested meow 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 meow. That's an SI kind of explanation. You don't give those, and you never will, basically. So that's it's more about your SI, okay? That the questions aren't designed to reveal where your relationship with the SI just purely on a skills level. They're also, I draw more information out from people than that, depending on how they answer them. And obviously, it is the case that I could imagine doing a more thorough job of testing any function with every client if I spent a lot longer, and if also I didn't care about their feelings really at all. So if I didn't care whether they were enjoying themselves or not, and it was like a medical test for like you gotta sit still in the CAT scan, well, I'd probably have more robust. I'd feel stronger about my claims, about the linkages, and I'd be able to be more precise about them as well. So I'll answer the other two questions in another video.